The refectory table. The refectory table is the oldest dining table in Western history. Long and heavy, handcrafted in oak or walnut in a trestle style. It was built not for a family, but for an entire monastery, a castle great hall, or a medieval banqueting chamber. The name comes directly from the Latin refectorium, the communal dining hall of a monastery, where monks gathered in silence to eat, while scripture was read aloud.
Those early tables were simple planks on trestles, assembled for meals and taken apart afterward, because the hall served many purposes beyond eating. Over time, the refectory table became permanent, a massive rectangular slab on a solid base, sometimes stretching over 10 feet in length. Outside the monasteries, the refectory table reached the rest of Europe by the late 16th century.
The trestle table. Its defining characteristic is simple. A tabletop supported not by 4 corner legs, but by 2 trestle supports, A-frame or H-frame structures placed at each end, connected by a central crossbeam running underneath. The result of this design is a table with no corner supports, meaning everyone seated along the sides has completely unobstructed legroom, a practical aesthetic that has endured for 1,000 years.
In the Middle Ages, tables in this style were deliberately collapsible, assembled for banquets and taken apart when the hall needed to serve other purposes. The expression "setting the table" comes literally from this practice. It wasn't just a matter of laying out the silverware. The table was built from scratch. Today's trestle table has evolved considerably. The crossbeam is often fixed, the supports are no longer removable, and the materials range from reclaimed barnwood to welded steel. But the silhouette, that strong lateral support structure, remains unmistakably the same. A design so efficient that no one has ever felt the need to fundamentally change it.
The farm table. The farm table, also known as the farmhouse table, is the most democratic piece of furniture ever made. Born in the working kitchens and main rooms of European and American farmhouses, it was never designed to impress, but to bring people together and feed a family at the end of a long day. This style has survived generations of use without losing its dignity. Its hallmarks are wood, thick planks that show the grain, the knots, the character of the tree they came from. 4 sturdy legs, a piece created and meant to be used, never conceived with design in mind. What I find remarkable is how this table, born from pure necessity on working farms, became the most sought-after aesthetic in contemporary American interior design.
The pedestal table. Instead of 4 corner legs, the pedestal table places all its support at the center. 1 column, or occasionally 2, rising from a weighted base to carry the entire tabletop above. The result is unobstructed access from every seat and the remarkable ability to accommodate more people than the table's surface area would suggest. The pedestal dining table emerged in the late 18th century, reaching its peak popularity during the Regency period in England, when the twin pedestal mahogany dining table became the centerpiece of formal dining rooms across the British Empire. Duncan Phyfe brought the style to America, where it became synonymous with federal and Victorian dining elegance. Today, it is almost universally round, the pedestal and the circle being natural companions, and it remains the preferred choice for dining rooms.
The Parsons table. Few pieces of furniture have an origin story as specific or as elegant as the Parsons table. It was designed in the 1930s at the Parsons School of Design in Paris, hence the name, as a student exercise. The assignment was to design a table using only right angles, where the legs and the top would be exactly the same thickness. The result was a table so pure in its geometry that it became one of the most influential furniture designs of the 20th century. What makes the Parsons table extraordinary is its total neutrality. Upholstered in fabric, it becomes luxurious.
In raw steel, it becomes industrial. In lacquered wood, it becomes mid-century modern living. In marble, it becomes something almost architectural. The form is so restrained that it disappears into whatever context surrounds it, which is precisely what makes it so versatile.
The drop leaf table. The drop leaf table is one of the most ingenious pieces of furniture ever designed, and one of the most underappreciated. Its premise is beautifully simple. A fixed central top, flanked by two hinged leaves that can be raised to expand the surface or lowered to hang vertically when not needed. The drop leaf table was born out of necessity in the small homes and cottages of 17th and 18th century England and colonial America, where space was precious and furniture needed to serve multiple purposes. The gate leaf table, its most elegant variation, with swing-out legs that support the raised leaves, became a staple of colonial American homes, and pieces from that period are among the most collected American antiques today. In a world of increasingly compact urban living, the drop-leaf table is as relevant today as it was 3 centuries ago. Flexibility, it turns out, never goes out of style.
The extension table. The extension table solved every host's problem. More people arriving than the table can seat. The extension table was elegantly mechanical, pulled apart at the center with additional leaves inserted to expand the surface. The earliest examples appeared in England in the early 17th century. Heavy, complicated mechanisms that required considerable effort to operate. By the Victorian era, the crank-operated extension table had become a masterpiece of domestic engineering. Today's extension mechanisms are marvels of precision engineering. Butterfly leaves that unfold from beneath the surface, self-storing leaves that require no removal or storage, synchronized gliding systems that operate with a single smooth pull. The contemporary table, and finally, the contemporary dining table is not a style. It is a conversation between material and form, between function and sculpture, between the table as a practical object and the table as the most important architectural piece in the room. From marble slabs on brushed steel frames, live-edge walnuts suspended over a single cast concrete base, to tempered glass balanced on geometric steel legs. Reclaimed wood often gets a second life in a form its original tree could never have imagined. The materials of contemporary dining tables are as varied as the homes they inhabit, and in the best examples, the table itself is the room's primary design statement.